Welcome to our Soulful Yin Yoga class. Today you're going to need a yoga block or a bolster if you have. And you're also going to need a yoga strap or a scarf. Works perfectly fine as well. So pause this video and run and grab those things, as well as a blanket. And then we're going to begin our practice just seated, cross-legged, or in a chair with the spine as tall. And just close your eyes and tune into the body. Just begin to deepen the breath and watch the breath. Observe the breath as it moves into the belly and then up into the chest. And then exhaling from the chest and then drawing the belly in gently. Long, deep breath. Just centering yourself, bringing yourself into the present moment. Now begin to ground yourself into the earth, visualizing your roots growing deep into this earth, into the soil and all the layers, connecting to the Great Mother. Bring your awareness to the base of the spine, just opening and expanding our root chakra. Feeling that sensation, that pulsing in the root chakra. And then moving up into the sacral chakra, located in the pelvis, in the womb space. Feel that pulsing of energy there. Moving up to the solar plexus, right in the center of our being. And you will intuitively know where this is. It's usually around the navel or just above the navel. But just tuning into your own body. See if you can intuit exactly where your solar plexus is. And moving up into the heart center. Expanding this energy center of love just with your awareness. Visualize it growing. Clearing, making space so that we can be compassionate and loving towards others in all situations. And moving up to the throat, feeling this sphere of energy pulsing. Opening up our voice, our ability to speak our truth. And up to the third eye point between the eyebrows. And the top of the head, crown chakra. And finally, bringing your awareness about a foot above the head, and then surrounding, this space surrounding the entire body. This is your aura, your electromagnetic field. It both protects you and it also makes you magnetic. So you're drawing to you whatever is in your energy field. So the more love, kindness, compassion that you send out into your own auric field, the more you will attract. Beautiful. So now that we're tuned in to our body and we've brought ourselves to the present moment, we're going to slowly and mindfully, without any rushing, come to lie on the back. Grabbing your scarf or your yoga strap, having it close by. So today we're working on the root chakra, so we're doing a lot of lower body work. So to begin, we're going to keep the left heel and the left leg firmly planted on the floor. And taking our yoga strap or scarf, we're going to bend the right knee and place the strap into the middle of the sole of the foot. And then with your hands, if you have excess scarf, you're just going to wrap it around the wrists so that you can grab onto the strap and then rest the elbows and the shoulders down. We don't want to have a lot of tension and squeezing around the neck and the shoulders during this movement. So now you're going to simultaneously pull on the scarf or the strap and press your foot as straight as your body's going to allow you, and draw that leg up. Just finding that edge, that place of resistance, and holding that edge there. Coming back to your breath. Breathing space into the hamstrings, the calves, the glutes, wherever you're feeling it, feeling that resistance, feeling that tension, that edge. Send your breath into that space. Let the inhale help you to expand and create more space. And on the exhale, just release that tension. Release anything that's not serving you. Nice deep belly breaths. Relaxing the shoulders and the neck. Relaxing the face. breaths are always through the nose. And if you like, you can keep your eyes closed once you settle into the pose. I find it's very helpful to have the eyes closed because then I can really focus on the exact location in the body where I'm experiencing the resistance. Or with our eyes open, we tend to get distracted by the things that are around us, and the mind just tends to be overall more active. Inviting in that softening. This practice is a wonderful way to reconnect with the feminine. And by that I mean each of us has both polarities within us, both the masculine energy and the feminine energy, or the yang energy and the yin energy. And our society tends to appreciate and encourage the yang energy, that fast-paced lifestyle. And what we really need to do is rest a lot more and be present with ourselves. And for this last minute, I invite you to just start to move the right leg just a little bit towards the left and a little bit towards the right. Just a very gentle movement. And just notice how the sensations change. And at any time that you experience a sensation that you'd like to hold, then just pause there and breathe. Send the breath there. And last deep breath. And I invite you to exhale through the mouth. And slowly bending the right knee and just releasing the strap and allowing the right leg to lengthen. And just pausing here for a moment. Just take notice of the difference that you can feel and perceive between the right leg and the left leg. You should feel like the right leg is at least 6 inches longer, almost. And that is space. When we say create space, that's exactly what you've done. You've released constriction and contraction and tension in the body, which is just energy, stuck energy. And you've released it, breathed prana, life force, into that space and allowed it to relax and release, lengthen and make space. And now moving to the opposite leg. So planting that right leg firmly into the ground as our base, supporting us, and bending the left knee. And bringing the strap or the scarf in the center of the sole of the foot. And then begin pressing into the scarf or the strap. Again, grabbing hold and wrapping the scarf around the wrists. Finding your place of resistance. And then relaxing the shoulders, the neck, the face, the belly. Bringing your awareness to the resistance, to the tension that you're feeling in your body. See if you can locate exactly where it is. And if it's multiple places, then just start from one point and move your way down. It might be beginning at the ankle, at the Achilles tendon, and it might go all the way down your calf and your hamstring and your butt. I feel that too. So just breathe. Observing the breath flowing into those spaces of tension. And exhale, releasing that tension, giving yourself permission to release it. And just observing the mind. Yin yoga is a wonderful time to practice the basic steps of mindfulness, the first foundations of mindfulness, I should say, which is mindfulness of the body and mindfulness of the breath. So that's all you have to do here, is just notice the sensations, lovingly accept your limitations, and release the tension and the expectations. I know some of us, we don't like the restrictions that our bodies have, and we wish to be more flexible or to be able to move in different ways. But that takes time, and that takes a lot of attention and love. And your body will respond with time and patience and love. So if you can lovingly breathe into the resistance that your body has at this moment and accept it fully, that's the first step to releasing it. Deep breaths into the belly and then up into the chest. Exhale, releasing all that's not serving you. And just trusting that your body knows what's not serving and what is still serving. Even if you're not conscious of how it's serving you. And for the last minute, I invite you to gently move the left leg over to the left and then inwards to the right. Just a gentle movement. And feel free to pause and breathe if you feel any new edges of resistance. Just pause and breathe there. And coming back to center. One last deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Bending the left knee, releasing the yoga strap and just putting it off to the side and lengthening that left leg. Again, just pausing here. Noticing the sensations on the left side. And from here, drawing the knees into the chest. Can roll over onto the right side. And slowly make your way up to stand. From here, we're coming into a squat. So some of you might find you need props to place under the feet. You can use either your yoga mat rolled up, like so. And you're just going to place the yoga mat underneath between the heels and the floor. Or you can use, I've used socks before. My partner Wes just uses 2 of these foam blocks. So really anything that you can use to support your body. Mainly most people find under the feet, between the heels and the floor. So to come into a squat, we're going to widen our stance a little bit more than hip distance for most people. And then we're going to turn the feet outwards. And from here, just coming down into the squat. Just placing your hands on the ground. And again, if your heels are popped up at all, make sure that you're finding something to place there. In the past, I've always just rolled up my mat. I find that works really well. And so 2 options with the hands. The hands can remain on the ground or close to the ground if you can't touch. Or if you feel like you have the balance, you're going to bring your hands into prayer pose and bring the arms on the inside of the knees. Then you're going to press the arms into the knees, kind of further opening that squat. Now, this can be a very intense posture for some people. So again, I remind you, this is a practice of awareness. This is a practice of love and of surrender and acceptance of the body's limitations. It never does any good to push the body beyond what its limitations are. Those boundaries are sacred. Your body is protecting you from injury. And in lots of ways, your body has built up this protection over time. And it's something that we can learn to be grateful for. Because even though you don't know it, your body has been there for you. Continues to be there for you. It's only there for you. So send that breath into those tight spaces. And if you need to come out of this posture at any time, just go ahead and stand up and lengthen the legs. Give them a bit of a shake, take a few breaths, and then come back and join us again. Deep breaths. Close those eyes and just sit with the resistance. See if you can find stillness. What happens if you stay, if you just sit with it? Sitting with it from a place of gratitude. And if you find it difficult to be grateful for the body that you have at this moment, then feel free to call in memories of the past when your body has shown up for you. Perhaps you've recovered from illness, even just or an injury. Perhaps you've birthed a child and nursed a child. We can be grateful just for our body carrying us each day. For our feet, for holding us up. Few more deep breaths here. Sending the breath deep into the pelvis, further expanding that root chakra. And last deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. From here, you can use your hands, lean forward and press into the hands and slowly lengthen the legs. Slowly coming up. And just pausing here for a moment. And then bringing our legs back to hip distance apart. We're just folding forward. Grabbing onto the opposite elbows and relaxing the head, neck, and shoulders down. Just a forward fold, but we call this ragdoll because your whole upper body and torso is what is doing the stretch for you. You have a slight bend in the knees, or you can have a deep bend in the knees. Just finding that edge, that resistance again. Deep breath. And then starting from the head, just begin to relax the head and the neck. You can gently turn the head from side to side. Just releasing any tension in the neck. The head is heavy, like a bowling ball. You should feel a nice stretch in the neck. And then relaxing the shoulders, making sure the arms are dead weight. Deep breaths through the nose. You might not be able to close the eyes if you have any trouble with balance, so just have the eyes soft if that's the case. Let those knees soften, maybe deepen the bend a little bit. Observing your thoughts. Yin yoga is also a meditation. When the thoughts enter our mind, you become the observer. Just observe them. Notice. You are the one thinking. You are the one observing the thought. You are not the thought. You're just observing the mind having a thought. So let that thought come, and then let the thought pass, and bring your awareness back to the breath, back to the body. Deep inhales, breathing space into the areas of resistance, and full exhales, releasing that resistance. Again, feel free to adjust the bend in the leg at any time. I find the deeper the bend in the knee, it changes for me. The stretch becomes more in the low back when my knees are bent, and when my knees are a bit straighter, I feel it more in the hamstrings, calves. So just wherever you feel you need the most release. Last 30 seconds here. Relax that heavy head, those arms. And last deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just release your grip on the elbows and just press the hands into the legs or the floor, and slowly make your way back up to stand. Just giving the legs a bit of a shake. And then coming down onto the knees. And just pausing here for a moment. Just closing the eyes. Just giving the body a chance to adjust. We had a lot of blood moving into the head. So just let the body come back to its balanced state. And as you're ready, releasing yourself onto your bum and bringing your legs stretched out in front. You may want to use a pillow or a bolster to help you relax into this pose, which we call caterpillar pose in Yin Yoga. And we're just folding forward, relaxing the torso a lot like we did with the last one in Ragdoll. So if you have a pillow or a bolster, I don't have one right now, so I'll show you with the block. You're just going to place it somewhere on the body, and you're just going to use it to help support the forehead or perhaps the chest. Maybe you have two of them, just so that you can relax the head, neck, shoulders, and the whole upper body onto something. You can allow the upper body just to hang, but you might not be able to relax in the same way. So whenever you're ready, just lengthening the spine. And then just begin walking your hands down the legs, finding your point of resistance, your edge. And once you find it, lengthen the spine, and then begin to relax the entire upper body. You can have your hands resting on top of the legs. You can have your palms facing down or facing up. Facing up is a more receptive way to relax. Deepen that breath. Relax the weight of the head. Relax the shoulders. Relax the chest. And just bringing awareness to all the sensations, where you're feeling them. Sending the breath there. Where can you soften a little bit more? Keep following the breath. Inhale space. Exhale resistance. Inhale love. Exhale pain. Inhale light. Bright white light into these spaces. Exhale the dark. This is a process where if you use the tools of visualization along with the breath, we can do what's known as transmutation.
breathing light into spaces of density. Literally breaking up that density, releasing the energy within it, and exhaling what's not serving, what's holding us back. The shadow frequency, the stuff that's getting in the way. It's not serving a purpose any longer. Soften a little bit more. And inhale deeply through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. On the next inhale, flipping the palms over and gently pressing into the hands and walking yourself back up to a tall spine, no rush. I'm just pausing here with the spine tall. And from here, I'm just going to bend the knees, coming back to sitting on the heels for a moment. This next one, we're doing a series of low lunging. So if you have a blanket or a pillow that you can use to place under your knee, it's very helpful. I want you to be able to relax as best as possible. So coming up onto the knees, you can have the toes tucked to start. I'm going to start with the right leg. So bringing the right foot out in front. And we want our knee to be directly over the ankle. So there should be, that's our support system for the knee. So once you find your edge, depending on how wide you're able to lunge, then you're going to untuck the left toe and just bring the hands onto the floor, one hand on either side of the leg. You can bring your hands on your fingertips. If you find that it's a bit too deep, then you can use blocks on either side, or books, or pillows, anything that you have to elevate your hands. And bring your attention to your hips. We want our hips to be square to the front of the mat. So if you imagine that your hips have headlights, we want those lights to shine at the front of the mat. If you find that your hips are shining elsewhere to the side, then you probably need a prop underneath your hands. Coming back to that breath. checking to make sure that the knee is underneath the ankle, directly underneath the ankle. You can bring your hands onto the thighs. And you can rest your hands on the thighs. Or you can bring your hands into prayer pose. Whichever you feel. And you can also pause this if you like and bring props on either side. Maybe you're close to the wall and you can hang on to the wall. That's fine. Or you can bring a chair on the other side. And you're just finding ways that work for you. And you can always come back down with your hands on the floor if you need to take a break. This variation can be a little bit more intense. "30 more seconds here." Another option is to bring the hands up above the head. This brings a little bit more of a sensation and a lengthening of the body and an opening in those hip flexors. Last deep breath here. Exhale out the mouth. Bring your hands onto the floor and slowly shift the weight back over onto the left knee and release the right knee. So you're back on all fours and then releasing onto the heels. Just take a breath here. And come up onto the knees, moving on to the other side. Having your props ready. You might find that you need props for one side and not the other. So bringing the left leg, lunging the left leg out. Bringing that left knee directly over the ankle. And then bringing the hands down onto the floor or onto the props. Softening those hips, softening any tension that you're holding in the back leg. Close your eyes. Come back to the breath. Bring your awareness to the body, to the sensations. This pose can be extra challenging because it's a very vulnerable pose, much like the squat. And that's when we have a lot of tension and imbalance in the root chakra and the areas associated with the root chakra. We have a difficult time being vulnerable. We've put up all these walls, all this tension to protect ourselves. And we need it not be there. You are always supported. You are safe. You can relax. You can soften. You have permission to rest, to release and surrender this tension. And either staying here or bringing the hands onto the thigh. Staying with that deep breath though. Option to bring the hands into prayer at the heart center. Being sure that that left knee is directly over the ankle. If your eyes are open, let them be soft. Keep your gaze in one spot on the floor. Last 30 seconds. Option to bring the arms up above the head, lengthening the torso, lengthening the hip flexors. Last deep breath here. Exhale through the mouth. Bringing the hands down and slowly, mindfully shifting your weight back onto the right knee, bending the left leg, and coming to sit back on the heels, pausing, closing the eyes, observing the body, observing the breath. From here, we're going to grab onto our yoga block. And if you don't have a yoga block, using a bolster or some pillows, me coming into bridge pose with the pelvis elevated. So we're going to use the block to rest the pelvis. So coming onto the back. Keeping the knees bent. Bring the heels as close to the bum as you can, but not all the way touching. And then on an inhale, you're going to press into the feet and lift the pelvis up and place the block underneath the pelvis. And we want this to be the block to end directly at the tailbone. So we don't want this in the lower back. We want this block placed directly on the pelvis, on the sacrum. Once you find that sweet spot, this is a rather nice pose. Most people enjoy. Your yoga block can be on its side. It doesn't have to be on the highest point. And if you want something more gentle, then using a bolster works best. If you are menstruating, we don't do any inversions during menstruation. So for this one, if you're on your moon time, I just invite you to leave the pelvis on the floor and go sit near a wall and just place your legs up the wall and just breathe long and deep there. And for those of you here with me now, we're really going to engage that long, deep breath. So deep breath into the belly and up into the chest. Exhaling from the chest. And then just letting that belly sink in towards the spine. Just continue breathing like that. Eyes are closed. Shoulders, arms are relaxed. Palms are facing up. Unless you find that you need to stabilize your body, then in which case have the palms down to help you. I know there's many practices that have a lot of rules. And these rules may have served in the past, but they were often rules that were designed by yang or masculine structures. And all of my teaching revolves around connecting to the feminine, to the yin. Even in the prana flow classes, the yin aspect comes when we pause between the movements and when we rest deeply at the end. In this practice, you're invited to deepen and release and surrender into the yin energies, the yin frequency of rest. Of mindfulness, of observing and contemplating, of being. Masculine's more doing. The yin is being present with. Observing the mind, watching the thoughts come and go. You are the observer. You are not the thoughts, just as you are not the body or the density or the tension in the body. Deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Now, very gently, begin on an inhale, pressing the feet into the floor, removing the block and placing it off to the side, and bringing the pelvis to rest down on the floor. Just keep the knees bent and the feet on the floor for a moment. Keep the eyes closed and just observe the pelvis
sensations that you're feeling in the body. From here, we're moving into our final pose of Shavasana. So just slowly releasing the legs straight. Leave at least a foot distance between the legs. And if you need a blanket, grabbing a blanket. Just begin to scan the body, beginning at the feet, relaxing the toes, first toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, baby toe. Relaxing the soles of the feet, tops of the feet. Just release them, allow them to just fall outwards, relaxing completely. Ankles are soft, heels relaxed. Relax the calves, shins, knees. Thighs and hamstrings. Just consciously releasing anything that you're holding in the thighs. Relaxing the hips. Bring your attention to the center of your pelvis, to your womb space, and just release from the inside the muscles in the pelvis. Visualizing a white light expanding out, releasing from the inside, expanding and releasing to the outside. And let this light move up into the belly, breathing deeply, expanding the belly. And exhale, release the low back towards the floor. And this bright light moving up to the chest, releasing any tension in the chest and the upper back. Moving your light up to the shoulders and the neck, softening the upper arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, hands, the thumbs, first fingers, second fingers, third fingers, fourth fingers. Relax the jaw. Unclench your teeth. And allow your tongue to rest on the upper palate, just behind the two front teeth. Relax any expression you have on your face. Your eyes soften, eyebrows, forehead. Just letting yourself melt into the floor. Resting. Begin to deepen the breath. Oxygenating your body a little bit deeper. Fill the belly, fill the lungs completely. Exhale through the mouth. Again, inhale to the belly. Draw the breath up into the chest. Expand your lungs to the fullest extent possible. Exhale through the mouth. One more time. Exhale. Beautiful. Wiggle the fingers and the toes. Rotate the wrists and the ankles. Working out those little crackles. And draw the knees into the chest. Give yourself a hug, wrapping your arms around the legs. And you can gently rock side to side. And rolling over to the right side. And making your way up, nice and slow, no rush. And bringing your hands in prayer mudra with the thumbs resting on the sternum. Eyes are closed. Just taking a moment of gratitude for yourself. Thank yourself for doing this practice, for showing up and being present even when it's difficult to be present with the sensations. This is true self-love, when you can find a space of gratitude for yourself, for your body, regardless of the limitations, regardless of the experience and the sensation. You deserve love. And I'm so grateful that I have the opportunity to share this practice with you. Sat Nam and Namaste.